Studio in New York City. Here is Steve Malzberg.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting live, and I am back with you. And in case you missed it, just to reiterate, because at least when I come to work and when I leave work, there are people walking in the streets with their either American flags or Italian flags, and the bars are filled up, and they got the ads in the window. World Cup, baby. Now, I'm not as into it as most people. If the U.S. gets to what is it, a medal? Do you get is there a bronze? If you will, I don't know. But if the U.S. keeps advancing, I'll get more into it, I'm sure. But they did advance today, even though they lost. They lost to Germany, and Germany advances. They lost 1-0, the U.S. I know some people like to say nil. I don't go for that. In tennis, it's love. In soccer, it's nil. I say it's nothing. So we lost 1-0, but we backed our way in to the next round in the Group G bracket, for what it's worth. Okay, so Germany and the United States both moved on today. Some news here. Second week sales of Hillary Clinton's book have dropped sharply. So says the New York Times. The New York Times. I'm not making this up. Sales of the book, Hard Choices, declined 43.5% to 48,000 copies in its second week. Now, Simon & Schuster gave Hillary Clinton a multi-million-dollar advance, and I read a couple of experts today saying they're never going to make their money back, Simon & Schuster. So that's going to be very interesting. Sales of the book have been strong. Let's see. I'm skipping ahead. I'm trying to skip ahead. I know that, I don't know. I know Hard Choices was number 21 among Amazon's bestseller. Blood Feud, The Clintons versus the Obamas, Ed Klein, number 3. Whatever. But anyway, sales down over about almost 45%. Now, I want to get this video in. Watch.
You know who lost last night? Sarah Palin, Sean Hannity, Michelle Mountain, all of the Tea Party folks. They lost. You know why? All of these incumbents, they took their races very seriously and the insurgents took it seriously. And that's why you have Charlie Rangel here tonight, and Eric Cantor is nowhere to be found.
Yep. Poor Margaret Hoover. She's got two enemies now. She's got half her own party, and she's got Democrats.
Reform Republicans are taking it back, Chris.
Margaret woke up with a smile this morning.
Exactly. Don't call it the establishment. It's the Sanity Caucus.
There are some great one-liners coming out of this discussion this morning.
All right, that's John Avlon and Margaret Hoover. They're married, okay? They're employed by CNN as Republican contributors, okay? They're both so far to the left, I'm surprised they're not falling over. Margaret Hoover, you know, she's a reform Republican. She just said it. And Avlon, he worked for Giuliani in some capacity. That's his claim to fame. He writes for the Daily Beast, or he edits it. He's no Republican, in my view. And to say that the traditional wing of the Republican Party is the sanity wing, that's a shot. All right. A bad shot, in my view. We will be back, ladies and gentlemen, with more of the Steve Malzberg Show. But first, today's American Moment looks at the Wright brothers.
December 17th, 1903, was a calm day at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, when two brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, readied their aircraft for a demonstration that would change history forever. Their initial flight only lasted for 120 feet, but it was enough to eventually pave a pathway to the stars. Although the brothers were not the first to build and fly experimental aircraft, they were the first ones to invent the mechanical controls that made fixed-wing, powered flight possible. But that proved both a blessing and a curse to an industry in its infancy. The Wright brothers' practice of demanding excessive fees for use of their patents and their litigious nature had an immediate and negative effect on the growth, safety, and improvement of the new industry of aviation. In 1917, Congress, recognizing air power would play a vital role in the upcoming war, passed legislation which, in effect, reduced the Wright brothers' royalty of $1,000 per plane to $200. The reduced fees sparked an explosion of growth and innovation in the new industry. Although initially outraged, the Wright family quickly realized the lower fees made it possible for more airplane manufacturers to enter the field. With more manufacturers came more planes, And with more planes came more royalties. Soon after, their royalties had exceeded $2 million in an age before income tax. Soon, America was leading the air revolution. In 1927, young aviator Charles Lindbergh departed New York's Roosevelt Field for a 3,600-mile, 33-and-a-half-hour transatlantic journey to Le Bourget Field in Paris, France. The dream of the Wright brothers had become a reality, and America had led the way thanks to Orville and Wilbur Wright. For Newsmax TV, I'm Bill Curtis, and this